as the rain decides to pour down on us here in Cranbourne, we are going to review Vektor with their latest release, Terminal Redux. I guess you'd pronounce it as, depending on which way you want to do it. 10 tracks for 74 minutes, so it's a long one. Third studio album from a US 4-piece, produced by the band and Byron Filson. It's their first album in 5 years and was released by Earache Records in May 2016. Dennis wants first crack at this one.
Musically, this is probably the best heavy metal band out there at the moment. Vocally, not so much. You do get used to the vocals after a while, but I would love this a lot more if, like, I'd love it a lot more than I already do if it had cleaner vocals or Symphony X style vocals or something like that. Yeah. The production is tight as fuck, and it needs to be for this kind of music. It's very technical and very proggy. There's also something jazzy about this band, in my opinion. Most impressive musicianship. The talent in this band is insane. I'd love to see them live. I was worried about how they'd sound, so I checked out a few live videos on YouTube, and they pull it off. It's fucking amazing that they can play that shit live. I wouldn't even want to be in the pit for it. A seated audience to appreciate the technical prowess of a band like this would be a perfect gig, I reckon. Musically, I'm reminded of a very technical thrash like Toxic, Coroner, and even Megadeth's Rust in Peace album.
Megadeth.
Very long songs, but it works. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Top 10 of the year worthy. Would have gone a 10 if the vocals were better. Standouts were LCD, Mountains Above the Sun, Pteropticon, I think.
They had some interesting names in the album.
Pillars of Sand and Collapse. If you love technical thrash and kind of Coroner-ish vocals, then you'd probably like... The vocals are kind of like Coroner.
Yeah, a little bit. No, it's good.
Yeah.
At first, I thought this was a Voivod album.
I got that. I completely get that.
Yeah, seeing as they copied Voivod's logo. Basically.
Early Voivod, anyway.
Musically, this is pretty damn good. Vocally, it's pretty damn ordinary, though.
Yeah.
The influences on their Facebook page were Voivod, Destruction, Rush, and Slayer, among others.
Yeah, Voivod and Rush you kind of get, don't you?
It shows in the music. I sort of thought it was like a psycho thrash.
Psycho thrash.
Bloody hell.
Just yelling over the rain. Very long and technical songs. The vocalist kills the album, though, for me. He sounds like he's got a very sore throat.
Should have had some soothers.
He's trying to be scary, but it doesn't really cut it for me. But the music is brilliant, and the drummer is incredible. I don't know who the drummer is, but he's a gun. This album is very different, and it's challenging to listen to, which I think is great, but it just sort of didn't really do it for me. But I didn't like the album at all, but I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Back of your mud. Your picks, any?
Oh, no.
No, okay.
Whatever Dennis said.
No, okay, now the builder's going to come down around us while I do the review. The metal gods aren't happy with us. This is, as you guys have both said, very, very technical. There is a bit of jazz in there and some... Generally, the musicianship, the performances are all really good. I like the use of the string sections in there too. They were a nice little subtle layer thrown in there. There were some female vocals toward the end as well, which added a bit more depth. The production is good, but not great. It does enough to serve the purposes. It just would have been better with
style,
it. Yeah,
I reckon.
but I reckon more depth, more space in it would have
more
worked
dynamics,
better. Yeah. It felt a little bit too crunched for what they're trying to do here with this album. I think also that his vocals, if he's going to insist on doing, it's almost Cradle of Filth type vocal. If he's going to keep doing that sort of higher pitched scream that cuts through the mix,
it's almost like a whispering, growly kind of thing.
But I wish they'd mix it back, because then it'd be easier to take in. As it stands now, it cuts through the mix too much and becomes the front of the listening experience, and I don't like that for this style of vocal. Personal taste, say what you like. Overall, it's a long listen and it feels like it, which also subtracted from it for me as well.
Yeah, very long.
74 minutes and it does feel like that. It's a good listen, one, to make up your own mind to. I don't think anyone can really tell anyone what to think about that. It's one of those ones where you'll get it or you won't.
Yeah, pretty
no
much.
one can tell you that, regardless. I gave it a 5 out of 10 because the vocals really did squash it for me. I reckon if they'd had, like you said, there are clean vocals on this, and they worked
all throughout. I mean,
I know, but toward the end in particular, and they were really good. So, and they've got the one vocalist for the whole thing. So I'm like, well, why didn't he do that whole time?
Yeah,
because it worked really well. I would have loved to have heard more of that and less of the growl. Use the growl for the accent and use the singing for the main part. Yeah, in my opinion. But like I said, 5 out of 10. I picked Mountains Above the Sun, which is an instrumental, Collapse and Recharge in the Void, which are both at the end and both have some of that cleaner stuff, but we'll give you a taste.